Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we're going to be talking about the single game NBA slate on May 8th, Wednesday. Um, we've got a couple plays for you, some honorable mentions as well. The postseason has been really tricky. Even today, as we look at the board, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jordy, but as I've been looking for plays, I'm feeling so much more comfortable with Indiana picks, and it feels like the New York picks are just set a little higher than I'm comfortable with. I don't know. It's like harder for me to find New York players than it was Indiana players. Makes it a little bit tricky when you have to take one from each team.
Yeah, it's a tricky matchup too, I think, because the Pacers they play so fast, and the Knicks, they have been playing faster against them, but they're traditionally like a slower paced team. So it's just like, I think the lines are all kind of weird right now.
Yeah, it just feels like the lines are much tighter on New York players. And then you've got stuff like Jalen Brunson, who's been going off. But do I really want
40 points is what he's got to get, basically.
taking a points line at 37.5? Do I think he can do that? Yeah, but he's been playing incredible elite basketball lately. But it's like my gut's just like, do I want to take an over on 37.5? Because if it doesn't hit, I'll be like, yeah, it was like almost at 40 points. So it's just been kind of tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got some plays that we're excited about, and we were kind of talking about that, because we always like to give you we never really want to give you guys plays that are if we gave you all Indiana plays today, it's like you can't just take our plays and just play those alone. But we also don't want to force plays on the opposite team if we're not liking the line. So we're kind of talking about different approaches we can take moving forward, and not forcing one from each team, but just giving you guys what we like, because I mean, me personally, I like a lot more of the Indiana props than I do the New York props today. But all that being said, we'll get into these plays. We'll keep figuring it out how we're going to break these down moving forward. But yeah, the playoffs, the postseason in general has been tricky. We've been excited all year thinking it's going to be much more predictable once playoffs come. But it has been tough, man. A lot of unexpected stuff going on in these games, and guys are getting huge minutes, but the platforms are adjusting for that, and we're seeing lines like Jalen Brunson, 37.5 points, yeah. So it's been a little bit trickier than I was expecting coming into postseason, but we're going to keep rolling. We're going to try to get some green going here. Before we get started, though, if you haven't signed up for Prize Picks or Underdog, use the promo code at the bottom of the screen for Prize Picks. They're going to give you a deposit match up to $100. And for Underdog, use promo code BACKDOOR, and they're going to give you a deposit match up to $250 and some instant pick'em specials, which are discounted plays. They'll help you get started on the right foot, to be able to cash your slips. And yeah, there's a link in the description for both of those if you're looking to sign up. Underdog, Prize Picks has just been, it's the biggest one, it's the biggest one in the industry. Everyone loves Prize Picks, but if you're playing other platforms, you know that the lines you're getting on Prize Picks are not great. The whole demons and goblins thing, it's like you don't get access to the actual line anymore. It's like you either have to take the goblin or the demon on a lot of these plays that I'm excited about. So I'm like, man, I'm just, Prize Picks is continuing to lose me.
Yeah.
And they won't give us a promo code, so I already don't like them.
I made a chalkboard slip the other day for $1, and I made $38 on it because there was just so many easy lines on there. I was like, man, I wish I would have thrown $15 on that now. But it was such a YOLO. But I'm like, all these plays are so good. But yeah, Prize Picks' lines have been booty clenched tight lately, so it's been tough.
It's been, they're definitely taking advantage of being the biggest platform, I think. And also minimum plays of $5. Just every other platform at this point is letting you go as low as $1. And sometimes you want to make a lot of different lineups, and you can't really do that without a big bankroll on Prize Picks. But Prize Picks does have the fixed odds, which are nice. So anyways, we'll keep rolling. They're the biggest, so we're going to keep covering Prize Picks. But I would definitely jump on Underdog, jump on Chalkboard. Even Sleeper is giving more competitive lines than Prize Picks is giving these days. But yeah, all of the sign-up information, if you want to jump on any of these other platforms that we're loving, they're all in the description of the video there. All right, so yeah, the plays we're going to be taking. So my official play, I've got some honorable mentions in my screen too that I want to talk about. But my official play for the video is going to be Dante DiVincenzo. And I do like this play a lot. But again, this was me finding a New York play because Jordy has an Indiana play. I want to give you one of each. But I'm going to talk about some other plays that I like as much, if not more. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I like DiVincenzo to go over 17.5 points in this game. Seems like the best play for a New York player that I could find. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Pascal Siakam's dunk under 0.5. This is a play we've all, me and Russo and our Discord have loved. You know, it's a dunk. He has the chance to hit it, but it's a really good play. So we're taking that for the under. Me and Russo were tug-of-warring over who wanted this play because it's a one we both like a lot. So, and then the Pascal Siakam on underdog, I'm taking his 3 over 0.5. It's just an easy play in my opinion. He's hit it, 60% of the season. I'll get into all that, but yeah, that's the one I'm taking there. On underdog.
Cool. Yeah, and even with for me right now, I'm hesitant to even take dunk props in general, whether it's the over or the under. There's definitely some on the board today that I'm going to take, but the playoffs have been so tricky, and you know how it goes. Whenever you don't cash, you look back at it as why did I take that? But sometimes it's you can't just look at every play that doesn't hit as oh, I should have never taken that. Although I feel that way about one play in particular that I'm going to go over in my recap. But let's talk about the recap. So I'll get the bad news out of the way. So PJ Washington didn't get it done on Prize Picks. We took his PRA. It was heavily juiced. I thought, he was going to really show up, but they only scored 95 points. OKC just they look like they are who we thought they were, type of thing. Playing really good ball. So he only went for 16. We just barely missed that. And on underdog, we took it at 18 because I still liked it there too. And this is me, going off of odds. This is me going off of history. So I did feel good about that play. Now Sam Hauser, you guys saw in the video, if you followed this play, 20 straight games of 9.5 attempts, shooting wise. It was driving me absolutely crazy watching this whole game go by. And I'm he's not shooting. He took his first shot attempt with 1:30 left in the game. And it was just super frustrating. And the reason that I learned something from this play that I want to share with you guys is because, this was a total L on my part. I felt good about him. I had all the reasons I explained in the video why I like this play, but 6.5 points is what we took him for. Dude took one shot in the entire game. And what I took from that I'm going to apply moving forward is being more hesitant of bench players, especially in a situation where we're starting round 1. We don't have any data we're starting round 2, game 1 of round 2. We don't have any data to go off of what kind of rotations we're going to see in a game like this. And Cleveland made it more competitive, at least for part of the game, than I was expecting. It ended up being 120-95. But that doesn't tell the whole story of the game. It was pretty close in the first half. And so it was just one of those hindsight of okay, in games like this, situations like this, I want to take guys that are going to have some more guaranteed minutes, guys that I know aren't going to be going the whole game without taking a shot attempt. And so it was a learning moment for me for sure, because I felt good about him. Dang, Hauser's been getting 20 minutes a game. 50, I even said, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a blowout. He gets 25 minutes. He's been averaging 20 minutes a game over the last 9.5 shot attempts. And he just goes and doesn't shoot a single shot till 1:30. So sorry about that one, guys. Jordy's plays cashed. Mine fell short. It's never fun when your plays are the ones that cost the slip. But definitely a learning curve for me as far as the situation. So I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. But we can talk about your plays that actually did cash.
Yeah. I took Donovan Mitchell over his 32.5 points and rebounds. I felt great about this play. They got to get that guy some help, man. He's kind of the only one doing anything. The other guys have really been slacking. Oh my God, I had one slip the other day get busted by Max Strus because he literally did nothing the entire game. And then, that one hit. He went for 39 PR. He had a great game. He's a great player. We took Jason Tatum's dunk. He was aggressive on the glass the other day, so that was nice. He got a dunk. There were some other plays that he had did that I thought would have counted as dunks, where he like went up with two hands and kind of like laid it in, like where it looked like he dunked, but they didn't count it. So I was like, I don't know, the dunks are weird. But yeah, so he cashed that play, and it's been tricky, like, to kind of touch on the Mitchell Robinson thing again, or yeah, I mean the Sam Hauser thing, but also like applies to Mitchell Robinson. Like, all of you who are getting on my case about Mitchell Robinson, like the know-it-alls you are, he has been hurt, and now they're saying, oh, his surgery went terrible, and we've been playing him hurt this entire time. And they just decided when Lil Jordy takes his pick that they're going to, put him back in the rehab facility, and he's not going to be playing anymore. So that whole pick just had me really hot for the last day with Robinson. So I know how you feel about Hauser, but it's like these guys who are getting the time just all of a sudden don't do anything. So it's frustrating feeling for sure.
Yeah, and the Robinson play isn't even, I don't even think, like, I mean, I took his demon. I took Robinson's rebound demon. I was like, dude, 8.5? Like, are you kidding me? This dude's gone for like 20 boards against this team before. Yeah. And so I was just like, he's healthy, he's back, let's get it. And then that didn't play out. But the Hauser thing, I was like, you know what? He's been playing great. And but it was just one of those things where, in particular, starting round 2, not knowing what this matchup's going to look like, not knowing enough of where if it was like game 3 or game 4 in the series, and we've seen Hauser, being aggressive with shooting, and he's been on fire, then I would feel more comfortable. But it's one of those things, hindsight's always 20/20. And for me, that's what I took from it, is like, okay, that's why I maybe should have, but at the same time, if he would have gone out there and cashed that, I would have been like, I knew this was a good pick. I knew this, so it's like, it's just, part of it comes down to like, where, this is daily fantasy. It's not, we're taking a chance on what these guys are going to do, and we don't know for sure. So anyways, let's keep it rolling. Let's get into these plays. Talk about Dante DiVincenzo here. And then we'll go over some honorable mentions after we go over the picks. We'll bounce back to some honorable mentions. But Dante DiVincenzo, 17.5 points. I think I'm gonna need to update this. Okay, so we got a 218.5 over under for this game. Knicks favored by 5. Very excited to run this one back. I mean, I feel like I'm saying that about all these matchups. The playoffs are just a lot of fun, very exciting, and it's fun to have daily fantasy to kind of attach yourself to these games and make the games a little bit more exciting. So the truth is, we're blessed to even just be in a country where we're prosperous enough to have extra money to throw down on, like, there are people in the world that have way bigger issues going on. So we got to keep that in mind too. Make sure you're having fun. Don't overextend yourself. Don't like put your finances in a tough spot because you're playing these games. But it's important to just sit back and be grateful that we just live in a place of peace where we can have fun watching entertainment on TV. So all right, I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, so 218.5, and we've got the Knicks favored by 5. Okay, so this is actually an EV Plus play on Outlier too, which we love Outlier. I'm so grateful for this app because we can really dive into the details and vet our plays with this. But we can see he's only gone over this 4 out of his last 10, but he's been heating up. In that last game against Philly, he went for 23. In his first game against Indiana, he went for 25. He's got a good matchup. The Pacers being 28th in points allowed to shooting guards. And he's been crushing it on the minutes as of late. 48 minutes in that last game against Philly, and then 43.7 minutes against Indiana in game 1. Just 1.8 fouls per game over the last 10, so he's never getting in foul trouble. I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit. Let's go to the last 5. Cool. So a little bit more fouls, 2.4, still nothing to be like worried about. 12.6 attempts per game right now, 41% from the field, shooting 37% from beyond the arc, and we know that he's capable of just getting hot beyond the arc at any moment. But 7 attempts on average from 3, making 2.6 of those over the last 5. Let's take a little bit closer look. So yeah, his last 2 games, he's gone for 9 attempts in each of those games and shot 56%, making 5 threes in each of those games. So I like the points alone here at 17.5. I'm going to be taking this on both platforms. If we take a look at DG, I don't even know if I had it pulled up. Let's see. I'll just throw them in here real quick. All right. So they've got this favored to go over at 51.88% odds to hit. minus 126, and everyone's got this at 17.5. And Caesars has it as a 50-50 shot at minus 115. But for the most part, we're seeing minus 120 and higher. Some all the way up to minus 139. We got some minus 130s, minus 136. So go with your gut if you don't feel good about these. We just got done talking about how tricky playoffs are right now. So always go with your gut, but I'm feeling good about this play. If you guys do want to take a little test run of Outlier here, this app that helps us vet our plays, there's a link in the description. If you just go through that link, you'll get 7 days to try this out for free and see how you like it. So definitely check that out. And I did forget to mention before I pass it over to Jordy, if you guys want to check out this app, the DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, just use code BACKDOOR and go through the link in the description. You'll get 25% off of this tool or any other tools. They make really great tools. We use them every single day. And my favorite thing about it is honestly probably having one place where I can see what I'm getting the line at, and I can see what other platforms have that line at, and I can decide like, actually this is kind of higher on Prize Picks, or this is kind of higher on Underdog. I'm going to go with the under here, or I'm going to look for another platform to take this line at because I can get it cheaper, on this other platform. So that kind of information to me is just awesome to have all in one place. So yeah, just use code BACKDOOR, go to dgfantasy.com, and they'll give you 25% off of any of their tools when you use that code. All right, Jordy, passing it over, bro.
Cool, man. Yeah, so I'm going to be taking this Pascal Siakam dunk for under. Obviously, we were both talking about Chalkboard earlier, so if you guys want to go check that out, go use code BACKDOOR over there, all one word, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. I've been loving their lines. They have some crazy lines. They had one I took in the first Nuggets game that was a 5.2x, and it was Jokic for the first bucket of the game, and he actually ended up hitting that. So I didn't hit that slip, but he ended up hitting that. It was pretty cool. Like there's some really cool lines over there that are, kind of Vegas-esque type plays. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely go check them out. Yeah, so Pascal Siakam under this dunk. This is a play. Obviously, there's risk involved with this play like any other play, but this is one that we've all really loved in the Discord. And me and Russo have been kind of hammering this play to death. But this under on the dunk, man, he's gone under it a majority of the season here. Like if you look at the under here, he's gone under this 55 out of 87 games on the year, and he's only hit it 32 out of 87. So to me, the under has been great on this play. I love it. He has never hit this against the Knicks, so they're a very tough team, and I feel even better about it tonight because they're gonna have Hartenstein covering the rim, and when he's down there, it's like there's a lid on the rim for these guys. But Mitchell Robinson's a great defender too. We just got to make sure that Hartenstein doesn't get in foul trouble. That's like the only thing that would really make me worry about this play, is if or if he's just on the bench. We'll see. But Precious Achiuwa is a great defender too. He'll probably be taking Robinson's minutes, so I think this play is still pretty safe. So I'm going to be going with it. I feel really good about it. He's only hit it in a couple games, 7 games out of the last 20. He's only gone over it. He's very capable of dunking the ball. He's a big dude. So if you don't like the play, you don't have to take it. I feel great about it. Siakam's a pretty crazy good player too. So it is what it is. I don't think he'll go over it, is what I'm getting at here. So I'm not going to be too sweating that one too hard. On Underdog, I'm taking him for over 0.5 threes made. I feel great about this play over on Underdog. He's gone over this 54 out of 87 games. He's hit it in every head-to-head. He doesn't take very many threes though. Like he's only shooting 4 attempts a game. He shot 3 in that last game, cash 1, 6 in the one prior, 3 in the one prior, but he's at least cashing 1 a game against them. He's hit this 14 out of his last 20. So I feel great about this play. You can see he's hit it in all 3 of his last games here. So I feel great about the 3-pointer. A little bit of an honorable mention for me is they have this let's see here. Where is it at? If I can find the block category. Here we go. They have Aaron Nesmith for 0.5 blocks. I love this play. It's just like we're trying not to give you guys too many plays that are like too sketchy or anything, but there are some honorable mentions in here I feel great about. And Aaron Nesmith's block's one of them. It's super juiced too on the odds, so I feel great about him going over that block. So yeah, that's one that I felt really good about that I wanted to mention really quick, but I'll pass it over to you for your honorable mentions if you still have those.
Cool. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to start with TJ McConnell. I love this play. His points alone at 10.5. He's been kind of going off the last couple games. You can see that first matchup against the Knicks, he went for 18 points. The last game against Milwaukee, he went for 20 points. And you guys can see how tricky, if you've been watching the games, he gets so tricky because he's a point guard, and he's kind of like a classic point guard. He's really fast for being like one of the older, veterans in the league at this point. But he'll be like just driving to the paint, and he'll be looking around like he's going to dish it out, and then they'll cover those guys, and he'll just like so quickly just throw it up and in, and no one's like close enough to be able to stop him. And so he's just been really sneaky with the scoring lately. So at 10.5, I'm going to be playing this in a lot of plays, a lot of slips. Been averaging, these past two games about 22 and a half minutes a game, just 2 fouls per game. But I really feel good about this 10.5 line. And if you look at the head-to-head, he's kind of done this a decent amount of times too. 4 out of 6 times he's gone for 14 or more points. So I like that play. And then the other one is going to be Obi Toppin's dunk, which is back on Prize Picks at 0.5. And I mean, this is the dude who just did, a between the legs dunk in the playoff game 1 of round 2. The dude is a dunk contest champion, I believe. He's got hops. He's super athletic. He's a great player. They're lucky to have him. But he's gone over this dunk. What is this? The last 5, he's gone over it 4 out of his last 5, and he's gotten 5 dunks in the last 5 games total. So he was averaging a dunk a game against Milwaukee. Now he's, he had 2 in that last game against New York. So it being just at 0.5, I'm definitely going to roll the dice on this a little bit and play it in some. As far as head-to-head, he's done this in 3 out of his last 4 matchups against New York, and total has 4 dunks out of his last 4 games against New York. So go with your gut. These are just some extra plays that we liked, that we were excited about, that we wanted to tell you about, but they're not like our official plays, but just trying to give you guys a little bit more content of some of the other plays on the board that we're taking a look at here. If you're interested in checking out our Discord, there's a link in the description of the video. If you go through that Patreon link, you can, it'll unlock Discord for you. You can come be a part of what we're doing. We have a really killer community. We have a lot of fun. We cover a lot of different platforms and cover a lot of different sports, as far as like, we got guys in here going after soccer daily. We got baseball, esports. We just cover a lot more. So if you do want to check that out, just go through the link in the description of the video. And once you sign up through Patreon, make sure you're using the same email that you have for Discord, or if you're new to Discord, just make sure your emails line up with what you have on Patreon, so it can just directly link you and give you access to the Discord. And last thing I'll talk about is Sleeper, which we signed a partnership with. So I keep saying it, but we are gonna, we've got some stuff coming up here, so it won't be for the next couple of weeks, but we are gonna start putting out Sleeper and chalkboard videos. If you guys want to sign up for Sleeper, they have a really killer option right now where they're giving you up to $500 deposit match when you use code BACKDOORFS. So for Sleeper, just make sure you put that FS on the end there. But if you go through the link in the description of the video, it's going to put the promo code in there for you automatically. They just updated that yesterday, which is nice. So you just go through that link, it'll put the promo code in, it'll give you the deposit match up to $500. And they're continuing to make things better at Sleeper. It's closer to chalkboard than it is Prize Picks and Underdog, as far as like giving you some alternate lines, plays as low as $1. And now they've got like a flex play type thing that they're offering, which they call the combo play. So yeah, we're going to be covering more of this, but Sleeper a lot of times will have options that you're not finding on Prize Picks and these other platforms as well. So definitely go check that out. We appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on these plays and they don't get bumped before the video gets out. Before you see the video. And if you guys don't mind, do us a favor and like the video on the way out. It just helps us grow the channel. We appreciate you. You guys have helped us get over 11K subs, and we can't thank you enough. We're trying to keep the momentum going. So if you guys don't mind liking the video on the way out, we really appreciate it. But have a great Wednesday, guys. Enjoy this single game slate, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.